Overall, I've been consistently investing in Rigetti shares since March, with my first entry point around $8. With the recent market rally, I've reached up to 606% profit, which is roughly a 7x increase. In this video, we're not only going to discuss Rigetti's overall situation but also take a closer look at its recent sharp surge, new partnerships, well-known analysts' price forecasts, and the company's future prospects. So far, I've analyzed and shared more than 50 early-stage companies like AMPX, Rigetti, WULF, and HIVE here on the channel, and most of them have brought us hundreds of % in profits since then. If you don't believe it, go check out my previous videos one by one and see for yourself. You can still benefit from these opportunities because most of these companies are still in their early stages. Before we start, I want to remind you that my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of October. If we hit that milestone, I'll reveal every single company currently in my portfolio, the ones that have already taken off and earned me significant returns. So, if you're interested, make sure to subscribe so we can reach that goal together. Now, let's dive into Rigetti. As most of you already know, Rigetti Computing is an innovative US-based startup working in the field of quantum computing. The company develops fully integrated quantum computing systems based on superconducting quantum processors. Rigetti's main goal is to build large-scale, utility-level quantum computers and integrate them into cloud environments. For this purpose, the company launched its Quantum Cloud Services platform. Recently, interest in quantum computing has been rising rapidly, similar to trends seen in artificial intelligence and electric vehicles. According to McKinsey's research, the quantum computing market, valued at $4 billion in 2024, could exceed $72 billion by 2035. This makes companies like Rigetti attractive for long-term investors. However, the industry is still in its development stage, revenues remain limited, and most technologies are still experimental. That's why some analysts recommend a cautious approach in this sector. Rigetti's stock has shown significant growth lately. According to Business Insider, the company's shares have risen 52% in recent months. Motley Fool notes that since September, the rally has continued, with shares climbing 83.6% in just 1 month. One of the main drivers behind this surge was a 3-year contract signed with the U.S. Air Force Research Laboratory. Under this agreement, Rigetti will collaborate with Dutch startup QFOX to support AFRL's research in superconducting quantum network technologies. News of this contract caused Rigetti's stock to jump 48% in the third week of fall. Additionally, at the end of September, Rigetti announced 2 major orders for its high-performance Navara quantum systems, one from an Asian tech company and another from a California-based AI startup, resulting in another 16.5% increase in share price. These Navara systems are expected to be delivered in the first half of 2026. However, this rapid rise isn't entirely based on fundamentals. Barron's analysis points out that quantum computing companies like Rigetti, IonQ, D-Wave, and Quantum Computing Incorporated have seen their share prices quadruple over the past year, even though their commercial revenues remain limited. Some analysts call this rally a bubble, emphasizing its speculative nature. Investor enthusiasm is largely driven by future potential rather than current financial performance, so caution is advised. Rigetti remains a small-scale company in terms of revenue, but its operating costs and investments are substantial. In Q1 2025, the company reported $1.5 million in revenue and an operating loss of $21.6 million. However, thanks to $62.1 million in non-cash gains, Rigetti posted a net profit of $42.6 million. This includes factors like rewards and other adjustments. In Q2 2025, revenue rose to $1.8 million, but expenses stayed high at $20.4 million, indicating a continued large operating loss. As of March 2025, Rigetti's cash reserves stood at $209.1 million. In April, a $35 million equity investment from Quanta Computer through a strategic partnership boosted this to $237.7 million, strengthening the company's financial position. However, Rigetti's revenue remains limited. In 2024, annual revenue fell 10% year-over-year to $10.8 million, while operating expenses and liabilities continued to exceed income. The company's finances are mostly supported by external investments and one-time non-cash gains, which raises challenges for sustainable long-term growth. Rigetti actively participates in international research projects and consortia, leveraging government grants and strategic collaborations to accelerate its progress in quantum computing. Under the U.S. Defense Department's DARPA program, Rigetti is developing scalable quantum computer concepts using its multi-chip architecture combined with Riverlane's error correction technology. Leading a $5.48 million consortium with the U.S. Air Force Office of Scientific Research, Rigetti is studying the ABA method for manufacturing superconducting quantum chips. It also collaborates with Iowa State, RMIT, the University of Connecticut, and Lawrence Livermore Laboratory to identify and fix chip-level defects. In the UK, Rigetti leads a £3.5 million quantum mission pilot project under Innovate UK, conducting error correction tests on superconducting quantum computers with partners Rusty and the National Quantum Computing Center. As part of this project, Rigetti will upgrade its existing 24-qubit NQCC processor to a 36-qubit model and implement a new control system. In another consortium, the company is working with SEQC, TRAQ, Q-Control, and Oxford Ionics to build an open architecture testing environment. On the technical and supplier side, the strategic agreement signed with Quanta Computer in April 2025 brought in $35 million in investment. Rigetti has also achieved scientific breakthroughs in collaboration with Harvard, MIT, and the University of Chicago, focusing on controlling superconducting qubits using optical signals. Additionally, the company made progress in algorithmic optimization with its quantum preconditioning approach for power grid efficiency. These partnerships and projects highlight Rigetti's growing potential in the quantum computing sector. The company continues to advance in chip design, architecture, and software development. CEO Subodh Kulkarni emphasized that these initiatives strengthen Rigetti's leadership position, though it will take time for such progress to translate into steady revenue. Analyst sentiment toward Rigetti's stock remains largely positive. According to MarketBeat, 6 out of 7 Wall Street analysts rate it as a buy, and 1 as a sell, resulting in an overall moderate buy consensus. On Public.com, 80% of analysts rated it strong buy and 20% buy, reflecting broad confidence in Rigetti's long-term potential. 12-month price targets vary across sources. MarketBeat and TipRank set the average price target around $28, while some analysts are more optimistic. Benchmark predicts $50, and B. Riley targets $35. Public.com shows an average target of $26. Since the stock currently trades around $48.50 as of late 2025, most of these forecasts are now below current levels. For example, B. Riley's $35 target was issued when the stock traded around $32 in September. Its recent rise to $48 suggests a speculative rally in the market. Overall, while analyst outlooks are positive, the current price exceeds many target valuations, confirming that optimism and speculation play a major role. Investors are advised to remain cautious and keep an eye on core fundamentals. In general, quantum computing is still in its early commercial and technological stages. According to Barron's, market dynamics in this field are still largely speculative until significant profits are achieved. Rigetti is part of this trend, meaning risks remain high for investors. Still, quantum technologies hold enormous promise for the future. McKinsey estimates that by 2035, the global quantum technologies market could approach $100 billion, with quantum computing accounting for $28 to $72 billion of that total. Rigetti is shaping its growth strategy around the 2030s, aiming to build larger systems with more qubits and improved error correction, with the ultimate goal of creating a universal, fault-tolerant quantum computer. Analysts remain optimistic overall, though the recent sharp rise in the stock is seen by some as a bubble that hasn't yet been tested. Quantum technologies are expected to become mainstream within 10 to 15 years, and Rigetti is positioning itself to be part of that wave. The stock's current rally is driven more by future expectations and capital inflows than by current results, so investors should weigh both the potential and the reality that Rigetti still generates limited income. Before we wrap up, I'd like to mention that if you want to claim up to $30 in free stock or crypto, check out the pinned comment for my invite link to QuantFury and register using my referral code to receive your reward. And if you enjoy my videos, you can also buy me a cup of coffee through the other pinned link to help me stay motivated and continue making more content like this.